everyone, Mitch coming in for the Conquerors Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, well, with a brand new set coming out, there are some massive price drops from some massive reprints. I'm talking about huge savings. Pick these cards up as soon as you can. Let's jump into them. First up, CleverConcealment. This is a very, very spicy card, in one where, well, it's been expensive for a long time. It only ever came out in Phyrexia All Will Be 1, and the list kind of counts but kind of doesn't count. But finally, it's getting a reprint, and one of the precons, CleverConcealment is an instant for 4 mana in white. It's got Convoke, so your creatures can help you cast it, and it says, any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. Basically, they're not there, but they are there. They don't lose counters. They don't lose, like equipment or auras attached to them. Again, unlike a massive blink effect, you don't lose out on those things. So this is a great, hey, you know what? Save my entire team kind of a card. Save every single one of my cards out there. Kind of like a heroic intervention in a way, but in white. One that can be more expensive, but also can just be basically free if you're tapping creatures for it and be like, oh yeah, cool, all right, just cast for free, save all my things. Great. A great piece of board wipe protection. Again, a massive savings right now. Basically half the price as it is. Make sure you pick this one up. Up next, Walking Ballista is getting a reprint and its price is dropping a ton. I mean, I'm talking about a card that shoots like $15 or so. You can see some of the other prices are starting to go down too because of this reprint bringing down the total price, but $7.15 right now for this combo-rific gem. Yeah, this thing is insanely powerful. An XX for 0 for that costs XX, I should say. Construct enters with X counters on it. By paying 4, you get a counter on it. Move a counter from it, 1 damage to any target. Famously combos with a lot of things. I mean, in Commander, I'd say the thing you got to look up the most is if you're playing against a Heliod deck and you're like, oh, it's Heliod. Oh, there's a Walking Ballista. Oh, I lose. Yeah, there are plenty of ways to go infinite with this. Even if you're not going infinite, again, in a counter strategy, this can be super deadly, just pinging everything and anything you want. Yeah, it's such a good card. Apparently, it's banned in Pioneer. Who knew? Anyways, though, down, again, about half the price right now. $7 down from, again, I'd say like 15, 16 is what it usually was. Some of the other prices are dropping. It was reprinted in Fallout. Go pick it up now. Moving on. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that all these cards are in the card list link in the description below. If you are interested in picking any of them up, go for it. Anyways, Damning Verdict, a very good card for certain type of strategies out there. Again, one that has seen no reprints ever. I mean, Magic Online promos, sure, that doesn't really count. But yeah, no reprints ever since New Capenna. $20 or so card, down to just $6.84. Source for 5 mana in white. Destroy all creatures with no counters on them. Yeah, if you're not playing a deck that has counters on creatures, don't use it because there are much better board wipes out there. But if you are playing any kind of a deck that works with counters, my goodness, this is a one-sided board wipe that is absolutely huge. And of course, the demand for it shows that there are plenty of decks out there. I mean, +1 counter builds are one of the most popular builds out there. There's a lot of those out there, and this is a card that says, hey, you know what? Do you want to just wipe out the other half of the board and then just swing through and probably win? Cool. Good for you. Go for it. Onward we go to Sword of the Animus, down to about $6 or so from, I'd say, like a $12 or so card. It has seen a couple of reprints, but this is a card that over the years has seen more and more and more play in Commander. It is a card that says, hey, you know what? There's something that's good about this because, ramping is well good, and this is just consistent ramping. And who doesn't love to consistently ramp? It's an equipment for 2 that has equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your life for a basic land card on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle equip 2. Super easy to get down, super low to the ground. Just throw in a creature, swing at the creature, you ramp. Do it again, and again, and again. This is just repeat ramp all the time. I mean, a landfall deck absolutely loves something like this, like repeat ramp. Just in general, like an equipment deck obviously loves it too. Or yeah, if you're just looking for, hey, I've got some evasive creatures, maybe ones that I actually maybe some combat, triggers, some attack triggers. All right, yeah, I'll throw this in there. I'll get those benefits because I'm already going to be swinging anyways, but also getting another benefit on top of that. And of course, if you have like, attack doublers, or extra combats too, have fun with those extra triggers from this as well. Go pick it up. Massive savings right now. Time to shift gears, though, with a classic with Reanimate. This is a sorcery for a single black mana that says, put target creature card from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value. They don't just, build them like they used to these days. But, yeah, back in the day, hey, you know what? That giant creature over there, let's get it back out for just 1 mana. Sure, it costs you some life, but in Commander, of course, who cares? It doesn't matter if it's the biggest creature you've ever seen. I don't care if it costs 10 mana on my graveyard. Sure, I lose 10 life, but now I've got a giant, massive game-ending creature in play for a single mana. Absolutely, disgustingly amazing. This is down from, it's like an $8 or so card, $9 or so card, down to around $6 right now. You're getting some savings. It might drop even further. We shall see. But regardless, make sure you pick it up at the lowered price because this card never stays cheap. Speaking of which, 3 visits, yet another card that for the longest time was never really getting a reprint. Finally started getting some, but yeah, it's ramp. It's really good in Commander, so it's never going to be all that cheap. That being said, down to about $5 or so, down from, again, like $8, $9. Some of the other prices are dropping, too. A great pickup right now. Sorcery for 2 mana in green. It says, search life for a forest card on the battlefield, then shuffle. This is so incredibly good. Again, ramping growth is basically the standard when it comes to ramping in Commander. It is like, hey, you know what? 2 mana, go get a land, in a play tapped. That one does help you fix your mana. Again, getting any basic. It does come in play tap, though. This one says, okay, any force into play untapped. You're playing mono green. Great. That's even better, right? That being said, if you are playing with, maybe some lands that have 2 different, basic land types, or maybe even 3 with certain ones out there, yeah, this can just be absurd fixing that can, again, get things on the battlefield untapped depending on the land. But yeah, it is such a good card at fixing your mana, such a good card at ramping and getting mana back right away. Yeah, this card does not stay cheap for long, and this, I guess I say cheap relatively to where it is. So if you've been waiting for this one, pick it up now. Let's take a look at this next card, and I'm just going to use this one as a representation of any other ones that basically do the exact same thing in other, colors, essentially. Sunken Ruins. We've got a land that can tap for a colorless, pay Dimir into it, tap, and it adds either, here we go, blue, black, or black. Basically, a filtering of mana that says, hey, you know what? Let's get whatever 2 combination that you want, essentially, out of this 1 mana of either color. So yeah, there are different lands that do the exact same thing in different color combinations. It's just a representation of what it is because, well, these don't see very many reprints. And because of that, now the prices dropped a ton, down to $5.33, down from like $20+. I mean, again, this one's been in Shadowmoor, and Expedition does not count because it's always going to be more expensive. In Double Masters, again, a technical reprint, but in a master set, yeah, this is going to be a massive price drop for this one. Pick it up while it is so much more affordable than it used to be. And check out all the other lands that are exactly like this one, too, for their reprints as well. Go do that. Okay, next up, real quick, let's move on to a weird one that is very much a specific kind of a card for a deck in Commander, I would say, but Snuff Out. This one is such an interesting card, an instant for 4 mana in black. You control a swamp, you can pay 4 life for them, pay the spell's mana cost, or target non-black creature can be regenerated. This is a card that in other formats, I would say, probably sees a bit more play. That being said, in Commander, just having a free get rid of any creature spell, yeah, again, 4 life, who cares? That's 1/10 of your life total. That doesn't matter, and plus there are plenty of ways to get that life back, or some decks don't even care about having life. That being said, down from like $5 right now, down from around like $8 or so. Some other prices are dropping too. If you've been waiting for Snuff Out for your very specific deck, you're like, yeah, oh yeah, cool, all right, awesome. Go pick it up right now. But now let's take a look at a reprint from the main set. Dark Confidant is here. My goodness, Dark Confidant Bob, better known as Bob, is here. A 2/1 human wizard for 2 mana in black. At the beginning of your upkeep, really top card of your library, put in your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. Yeah, this is just, hey, you know what? Do you want like free extra card draw every single turn? Awesome. Okay, at the cost of maybe some life. If you get a land, great, it's free. Or if you have a lower to the ground deck, great. Or again, for certain decks out there that actually want to lose life, maybe like a life swap deck, absolutely amazing. Sure, this is something massive, I'll lose life. Who cares? Who cares? Down to about $3.87 from like $7-8 or so. Yeah, a massive price drop. If you've been waiting to be best friends with Bob, go pick Bob up now, while Bob is much cheaper than Bob usually is. All right, buckle up for this next one, though. Farewell. Oh, bye. Sorcery for 6 mana in white. Choose one or more. Exile all artifacts, exile creatures, exile enchantments, exile all graveyards. Get rid of everything, basically. Just say goodbye to every single thing out there that you don't like. Again, it is one or more, so you can be so specific. You can say, you know what? I've got an advantage on the creatures. Let's keep the creatures in play. Let's get rid of everything else. Whatever combination you need, it is basically a, not technically one-sided board wipe, but basically helps you out with the best scenario that you want to pick moving forward and permanently gets rid of things. A very powerful board wipe. Some, not me, would recommend that this is actually like a game changer kind of card. I would say not quite, but that's just my opinion. The Cyclonic Rift, this is not, but it's still very, very good, obviously. Down to like $3 or so from $6, $7, $8 in some places. So yeah, if you've been waiting for this one, pick it up while it is more budget friendly. Get ready for what's coming next, because your opponents won't be, because Darksteel Plate makes things really difficult to get rid of. It is an equipment that costs 3, and it costs 2 to equip. It says, hey, by the way, I'm indestructible, and also the equipped creature equipping is also indestructible. Which actually makes me think about other kinds of things that if they were to do something similar and they weren't indestructible themselves, that wouldn't really make all that much sense. Like, I protect you no matter what, but also I'm quite flimsy. Yeah, that doesn't make as much sense. Anyways, yeah, really tough to deal with, number one. And again, it makes the creatures equipping tough to deal with. So yes, being able to put this on important creatures in your commander deck, like say your commander, is a very good thing. $3.35 right now, down from like $8, $9, $10 or so. Has not seen a lot of reprints. Finally getting one here, dropping that price significantly. Go pick it up while it is, well, sub $5, which I cannot remember the last time that this ever was sub $5. But now we are moving on to a completely different card with Authority of the Console. So it's an enchantment for a single white mana. Creature opponents control, enter, tap. Whenever a creature opponent controls enters, you gain 1 life. Yeah, that is so good. That is such a good card for certain types of strategies out there. I mean, even just like a life gain strategy, it's just like, okay, throw this down for 1 mana, just let it sit there. And you're like, oh yeah, gain life here, gain life there, gain life everywhere. Especially if you've got like life gain triggers going on. It's going to be happening all the time. And of course, you are slowing your opponents down. So yeah, a Staxy type deck can utilize it too. But making sure your opponent's creatures come into play tapped really slows them down. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, your haste doesn't matter if you have any of that. And also your blocking is kind of suspect at this point. $3.03 right now for this gem, down from like $6 or so. It's like half the price. Some of the other prices are dropping too. But yeah, go pick it up. Here comes a spicy one, though. Arcalemancer's Map. Who says mono wipe can't ramp? I mean, I've said that before, but they're getting better at it. Artifact for 3 mana in white. When this artifact enters, search life for up to 2 basic plains cards. Reveal them, put your hand, then shuffle. Whenever a land an opponent controls enters, if that player controls more lands than you, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Basically, hey, you know what? Opponents, you're probably getting more lands than me because I'm in white, and if I'm using a card like this, I don't have access to green most likely, so therefore, yeah, I'm going to be putting lands into play. It's going to go great. It's going to go fun. I'm going to ramp a lot. It also gets me 2 lands that I can then, utilize, so that's quite great. This one really has seen basically no reprints. I mean, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander, yes, 1, I guess I should say, but the list doesn't really count all that much. Down from like $10 or so, down to less than $3. $2.80, a steal for this one right now. So if you've been waiting for this ramp card, basically, in a mono white deck or in a deck that doesn't have green, go pick it up while you can. Now, this one's worth your attention. It's just got such a cool name, too. Professional Facebreaker. That's the job. That's the actual job of this individual. Good for you. I mean, not really, but good for you. 2/3 Human Warrior with Menace for 3 mana in red. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure, exile a top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Yeah, whenever you have something that's like, hey, you know what? This makes treasures on repeat. Yeah, you're gonna be getting a bit of a price bump on that, because treasures are really powerful in Commander, number 1. Number 2, yeah, treasures into Impulse Draw, even better. Cool. So yeah, basically, again, if you're attacking all 3 opponents and you get through, you're like, okay, cool, I get 3 treasures in a combat. Good for me. And also, if you have like double strike or extra combats, even more than that. There's a reason why this one is quite expensive, and now it's dropping down to just less than, $3, $2.28 right now, and down from like $5, $6 or so. Haven't seen this one down to that price in a long time. Again, I haven't seen too many reprints throughout its career. Make sure you pick it up while you can. A classic, though, with Rise of the Dark Realm, seeing a massive reprint right here. Sorcery for 9 mana in black, but it is worth every single one of those manas. Put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under your control. Yeah, that is absolutely huge. That is just like, hey, you know what? Everything else that is going on, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, I just played this, by the way. I probably win the game right here, right now, because... well, yeah, I mean, just throughout the game, creatures are hitting the graveyards, right? Board wipes happen. Maybe you're milling yourself. Maybe you're tutoring things into your graveyard. Whatever you're doing, now they're all back in play, and you probably just win the game. It is a great finisher. $2.27 right now, an absolute steal, down from like $4 or $5 or so. Make sure you pick it up while it is that price. Let's zero in on this next big one, though, with Pitiless Plunderer, a card that for the longest time it seemed like no reprints, and it was like, Wizards, what are you doing? What are you doing? This uncommon, which never should have been an uncommon, just got absurdly expensive. I mean, I'm talking like $10+ or so. Finally, they're like, oh, maybe we should reprint it. You figured it out. Okay, good. Here we go. A Human Pirate for 4 mana in black. It's a 1/4, and it says, whenever their creature you control dies, create a treasure token. A couple things that are not specified on here. One of them, the treasure is going to play tapped. Number 2, it doesn't say non-token creature, so it counts tokens as well. Yeah, there are definitely some crazy combos that work with this, but even if you're not comboing, it's just insane. If you're in any kind of like aristocrat-style strategy and you're like, okay, cool, I've got all these creatures in play, and now, I'm sorry, creatures, I sacrifice you and I make a bunch of tokens, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got the most mana in the world now. Okay, let me go play these spells, which make more creatures, which then I sacrifice to make more tokens. Or there's just some commanders that straight up combo with this too. Again, $2.25 for this absolute gem right now, down from like $4 or $5 or so. Again, if it gets reprinted, it creeps back in for price, but still a far cry from where it used to be around $10 or so. Pick it up while it's cheap. This is where things get interesting, though, because Resourceful Defense, again, a card that has never been reprinted. Never, ever, 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 ever been reprinted. Finally is reprinted once again, all the way from back in New Capenna. That was quite a long time ago now at this point. $10 or so, dropping down to $2. Like 1/5 of the price. Enchant for 3 mana in white. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target permanent you control. By paying 5 mana in white, move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control. Yeah, this is just like, hey, you know what? I'm playing a counter strategy, and I don't want to lose my counters. Everything just shifts the counters wherever you need to. You can also just pay to actually shift them too, which is pretty crazy. Again, like I mentioned earlier, +1 counters, a very popular strategy out there, but of course, this counts any permanents and any kind of counters on them too. So sure, charge counters, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, a very useful card, a very, very steely card right now. Steely card, that's not a term. A card that is a steal, let's say that. There you go. A great deal for a card. There we go. We'll go with that. 1/5 the price. Pick it up now. Pay close attention to this next one, though, because yet again, a card that has really never seen an actual reprint. I mean, a Secret Lair drop, those don't really count. Those are usually more expensive, and it's a small print run, obviously. Generous Patron is here in less than half the price, down from like $4 or $5 or so, down to just $2. It's a, 1/4 Elf Advisor for 3 mana in green. If that was it, that'd be terrible. But it says when it enters support too, which is slightly better. But what makes it really amazing is whenever you put one of our counters on a creature you don't control, draw a card. This card is crazy good at card draw. Absolutely absurd at card draw. Once you're set up properly for a deck like this, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, draw all the cards in the world that you want to draw. Sweet. Awesome. Amazing. Because again, with that support too, you can literally just go, okay, I'll like put counters on 2 of my opponent's creatures. I'll make some deals maybe, like see like who wants the counters maybe. But also I'm just drawing 2 cards right away on the ETB, basically. And of course, after that, you're like, oh, if I've got proliferate effects, if I've got other ways to dish out counters, great. If I've got like a group hug or politics type strategy, or if you're going to be, in a different direction than that and just go, hey, -1/-1 counters count, of course, or other kinds of counters that may be detrimental to your opponent's creatures. Those, of course, count as well. It's like, hey, I'm giving you a gift. They're like, stop it. And I'm like, I get to draw cards. No! Yes, go pick it up now. Let's move forward, though, with Rampant Rejuvenator. This is such a good card. Down to less than $2. First reprint ever. Down from like $4 or $5 or so. 0/0 Plant Hydra for 4 mana in green. Enters with 2 counters on it. When it dies, search your life for X basic land cards or X the creature's power, put them on the battlefield, then shuffle. Okay, so at the very least, this is basically a explosive vegetation at 4 mana. Kind of, right? 2 counters on the creature. When it dies, you get 2 lands, 4 mana in green. Cool. That being said, of course, the potential for this is insane because you're like, oh, okay, if I've got any kind of other pump effects, if I've got any kind of ways to get more counters on it, which I'm probably playing in a counter strategy or a proliferate strategy if I'm utilizing a card like this or a power-based strategy, you literally can get every basic land out of your deck when this dies. You're like, okay, cool. Get it out, get a ton of counters on it, get a lot of power on it, and all of a sudden sacrifice it or whatnot. And by the way, I go get 15 basic lands out of my library into play, and I probably win the game. Yeah, they don't even come to play tapped. Do keep that in mind. They come into play just right on the battlefield, not tapped. Insane plays with this one. A lot of potential for this, creature that can get quite large in the right deck, obviously, and be a threat. But, of course, obviously, just also, hey, go get every land in your deck and probably win. Have fun. Moving forward, though, the Relic of Legends. And you have to say it in that voice. Artifact for 3, tap add 1 mana of any color, and if it was just that, it'd be garbage. But it does say tap and untap legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. Basically, this is a mana rock that does cost 3. It can help you fix your mana, but it can tap for essentially 2. Or more, potentially, but just assuming that you're like, okay, I've got my commander. Maybe my commander is one that, like, I just care about having in play. I don't care about attacking with it. It doesn't have like a tap ability. I don't care with blocking with it. It's just like, okay, your commander is there, and maybe it has like an effect that happens essentially when certain things happen, but I don't care if it's tapped. Sure, all right, I'll tap my commander, I'll untap this, and I get extra mana. Or if you have, let's say like a legendary tribal deck where this card really shines, it's like, okay, all of a sudden I get basically an absurd amount of mana on my entire team. I can tap my entire team basically for mana. It kind of turns them into Mandorks in a way. That being said, less than $2 right now, down from like $3 or so. The other cards have been actually going down in price as well. Pick it up. Who wants to win in a very fun and weird way? Hellite Tyrant does. 6/5 Flampler for 6 mana in red. It says, when it deals combination to a player, gain control of all artifacts that player controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more artifacts, you win the game. The game is yours. Congratulations. You've won. You are the best player of all time because you stole all the artifacts. It's so much fun. This is a card that is not for every kind of deck out there. It is a card that will make your opponents shake and shiver in their boots. Is that a phrase? It's probably not a phrase, right? Shake in their boots, whatever it is. But yeah, basically being able to go, okay, I play it, and if there's a lot of artifacts in play, that one artifact player's like, oh no, my board. Even if they don't, if you're just making a bunch of treasures, you can just win in that way too. Down to about $2 or so, even less than that, down from like $6 or so. A great cost savings right there. Pick it up. But now another land with high market, a great reprint right now. A land that can tap break us, tap sacrifice creature, you gain 1 life. Very simple land, very straightforward land. It is great. If you need essentially any kind of a sacrifice effect in your deck, you're like, okay, cool, I have this. Maybe your commander has a death trigger that you want to take advantage of. Maybe you've got an aristocrat style strategy. Maybe you've got a life gain strategy, and you've got some, creature fodder out there that you can utilize. It's a great card. Or if you've got the 99 lands Child of Alar deck, sorry again, everyone, for bringing that one up and having other people play it. Yeah, make sure you ask ahead of time before playing that deck. But yeah, it is a great card for that deck too because you want to take out the Child of Alar as many times as you can, and a land is a great way to do it when you only have lands. $1.83, down from like $6 or $7 or so. Great cost savings right there. Pick it up. All right, here we go, though. Bane of Progress. Bane. This is a 2/2 elemental for 6 mana in green. When this creature enters destroy all artifacts and enchantments, get a counter on it for each creature, or for each permanent, for destroy this way. Yeah, get a counter on this creature for each permanent destroy this way. Basically, hey, destroy a bunch of things, make this thing absolutely massive. This thing has seen very few reprints. Very few reprints, and all in Commander anthologies, it looks like, really. Like Commander 2013, 2015, Anthology, Collection Green, doesn't really count. The list doesn't really count. So, like, it's seen a couple, I guess, but, like, really old, long time ago. Down from like $8 or so, down to less than $2. A massive cost savings right there, like 1/4 of the price. Go pick it up. The card that kind of started off as a joke, then very much did not become a joke, Colossus Hammer, even though it looks like a joke with a giant, like, cartoon-looking hammer. Anyways, it's an artifact equipment for a single mana that says, equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. The hammer is so big you cannot fly with it. You can ride a horse with it for some reason, with, the horse, there, you're in the shadows, but you can't fly with it. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways, equip 8. Yeah, it's got an absurdly high equip cost. Here's the thing. There are certain decks out there, certain commanders out there, they're like, you know what? It doesn't matter because, I don't actually charge you for equipping. It's free. It's free. It's just free. So yeah, being able to cheat on that equip cost to equip things for free and just say, oh, I've got a 1 mana card that +10/+10 something. I don't care if I can't fly. Massive bump effect. Even a card that can just kind of win you the game super early in certain circumstances. Yeah, $1.67 right now, down from like $3 or $4 or so. Pick it up. Moving forward, Scholar of New Horizons. Speaking of moving forward, that way. We want to go that way. It's a 1/1 human scout for 2 mana in white. It says it enters with a counter on it. Tap remove a counter from a permanent you control. Search life for a plains card. Reveal it. Opponent controls more lands than you. Which again, you're in white, not green, most likely. So yeah, there you go. It's gonna happen. But put that card on the battlefield tapped. If you dump the card on the battlefield, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Yeah, you're basically just gonna keep ramping with this. Quite a bit in the right strategy out there. Again, a card that has never seen a reprint outside of Magic Online, which again does not count. $3 down to $1.65, nearly half the price right now. Pick it up. Things are just heating up, though. Next up, Bronze Guardian. I didn't realize this one got to like $4 or $5 or so. Some of the prices are dropping right now, but yeah, $1.62. Yeah, pick it up while you can, because this card is amazing for the right strategy out there. I mean, artifacts, I think it's the most popular strategy right now, or like a treasure strategy too. Yeah, this is huge. Star 5 Golem with double strike for 5 mana in white. Ward 2. Other artifacts you control have Ward 2. Wizards, why don't we just say all artifacts you control have Ward 2? I don't know. Maybe it's more confusing that way. That being said, this creature's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Yeah, this is a game-ending card that also protects all your things. The right strategy out there, the right artifacts out there, you're like, oh, I've got like 10 artifacts. Thing hits for 20 with double strike. Gross. By the way, it also protects itself and other things. Pick it up while it's cheap. Massive price drop alert, though, all the way down from, well, $8, $9, $10 in some places or so. Conquerors Flail down to $1.50. Absolutely insane. Equipment for 2 that costs 2 to equip, and it says equipped creature gets +1 for each color among permanents you control. Oh, and by the way, if it's attached to a creature, opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Yeah, that's already, like, it's a nice pump effect. It's a very nice pump effect for the right deck out there, but even if it's not pumping all that much, you don't really care about that because you're just like, oh, I just want to shut down my opponents on my turn from casting things. That's massive. That's huge. Take advantage of it. A great way to, well, combo off while your opponents can't stop you, and also just, like, make it so your opponents can't mess with you on your turn. Have fun. Speaking of fun, Inexraable Tide! Finally starting to see some reprints. I mean, this thing came out in Scars of Mirrodin, saw a reprint in 2015, and then since then, basically nothing. Finally, Fallout got a reprint for it, and now down to $1.41. I mean, this card, not too long ago, was like $5, $6 or so. Still about half the price right now of what it usually is. Wish it was underneath $1 so it could fit into some of my decks, but still, enchant for 5 mana in blue. Whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. Absolutely insane. I mean, proliferation has gotten more and more powerful over the years with more and more things you can do, more and more types of counters out there. Have fun with this. Get it in play and just cast things and get all the counters on your things. Again, a +1 counters deck, a charge counters deck, a stun counter deck. I mean, any kind of a deck. A poison deck, an infect deck. Have fun. Yeah, have fun with it. Pick it up now. Want to ruin the night? Ruinous Ultimatum! That's not the actual catchphrase of this card, but kind of. Anyways, it won't ruin the night, but it's a sorcery for 7 mana, very specific mana cost in Mardu. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. This is definitely one of the most played ultimatum, if not the most played ultimatum out there. It just wrecks the board. Not your board, though. This is basically not Cyclonic Grip. Like, this is when it came out, like, some players were like, oh, it's better than Cyclonic Grip. Not quite. Cyclonic Grip is more flexible, it's easier to cast, and it's instant speed. This, yes, does destroy things permanently, which is great and amazing, but yeah, there are those factors to keep in mind. That being said, a very, very good board wipe, an incredible board wipe, a one-sided board wipe for the right deck. You can just be like, oh yeah, I play this, and all of a sudden all my things are fine and yours aren't, and I swing through and I win. Absolutely. $1.41 is a steal for this card right now, down from like $6, $7 or so. Pick it up. And finally, Guyire Sage. Again, a quick reminder before I forget to say it, that if you are interested in any of these cards, make sure you check out that card listing in the description below. But now back to Guyire Sage, a 1/2 Elf Druid for 2 mana in green. Evolve, tap for a green for each counter on this creature. Yeah, this is a card that's super good. There are just certain kinds of creatures out there like, hey, you know what? I get to tap for an absurd amount of mana. You might start off with basically nothing. Your opponent's like, oh, well, this is not that big of a deal, right? All of a sudden, it's tapping for 10 mana, and you're like, oh my gosh, the most mana of all time. This hasn't seen that many reprints over the years. Finally starting to get some, but yeah, this one down to $1.29 right now. It's like a $4, $5, $6 card or so. Pick it up while you can. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.